everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Gracias, Larry. This site, perhaps better known for another kind of football, but the masses have turned out for some NFL football as you get a look inside the Mammoth Azteca Stadium here in Mexico City. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Mexico City Diablos. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Finding time. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Pressure from behind, and he's going to be thrown down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. Surveying the field. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing. Bridgewater. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down deep in their territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
A gain of 3, second down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. The second down throw for Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Seven yards remain now on third down. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go on the ground. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Let's go! Brad 38!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They come out here in the eye. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man-to-man coverage in many cases. And in this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there if you like zone defense.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move it, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He's got time, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
He dropped that one, and it almost felt like he was disappointed he wasn't the primary receiver. Because we saw the guy scan the field, came to him on a check down, and running back's supposed to catch that one.
He's supposed to catch that one indeed.
Were his feelings hurt or something? I don't know what happened there.
This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just put a tendency. Third down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a first down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that
and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's Bridgewater. Throwing right, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive linemen won at the point of attack. Their leverage way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. And that's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 14 there. And that leads to a Philadelphia first. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. 3rd and short yardage, Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 5. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And his kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would...
There he goes left side. The 20. Touchdown! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to retake the lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. Defense has to stand tall here, 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Bridgewater again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing is Bridgewater. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To the air again with Bridgewater. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. So a very tight first. Hey, you. Yeah, you. John, why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, I bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the 3rd quarter. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, Now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play. Who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play, he did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take...
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the two-point try. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Going right side here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough third down awaits them.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
False start, offense.
Second down, Bridgewater. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
This will be caught at about the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the first and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38. Flex round. Flex round. Ohio.
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Bridgewater. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes Didn't want to throw the football because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
This is taken around the 12. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. There he goes, right side. Past the 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. 82 yards. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And they'll get set here looking for the two-point conversion.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 3rd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown. But when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Back now in Mexico City. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. First down, Bridgewater. Backing up. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Desperation time. 4th down. Bridgewater. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Time running out here on the play clock. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come out here in the eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still 2nd down.
Too easy. Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. 8 yards there on a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, They're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. They'll drop to throw, and he comes back with one complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The defense working their way back out now onto their home turf. And an important stop in a tight game their last time.
Always important to stop them. We know that. But as you noted, in a tight game, so much more critical to get it done, and that's exactly what they did.
And they'll be trying to do that once more here. We'll see who wins the battle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Philadelphia 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
2nd down now after the incompletion. On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Bridgewater again. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And some space here. And he's brought down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Going to give this time to the tailback. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Another pistol look here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Second down following the run.
Here we go. Man 38.
And they'll go on the ground. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Come on, let's go. Man 38. Man 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Yeah, the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offensive unit. Call the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. One receiver left, three to the right. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the home team here, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And now it's off to the airport for a date.